Okay, and so our last couple of examples of dividing polynomials will actually be using synthetic division. So for our first example, we have x squared minus 3x minus 18 is divided by x minus 6. Okay, so the first thing that we want to point out is when we're using synthetic division, it's two things that you want to make sure is happening before you actually start the mechanics of synthetic division. The first thing you want to make sure is that whatever you're dividing by is actually whatever variable, these could be y's or z's or whatever variable is going to be x minus the number. Okay? We're going to do an example next so that if it's actually x plus the number, we actually have to use the opposite of the number in synthetic division. So that's one of the first things that you check with synthetic division is that it says x minus 6. If it says that, then we basically we take our 6 and we use it. So if this had been x plus 6, we would have had negative 6 right here and using synthetic division. Alright, so now the second thing that you want to look for when you're using synthetic division is make sure that your polynomial, the variables, actually the exponents are in decreasing order all the way down to 0. So you see that you have x to the second, x to the first, and we actually do have x to the 0 there attached to the 18, but remember x to the 0 power is 1, so it's technically we don't need it there, okay? So just make sure that the exponents are in decreasing order, meaning that there are no gaps. For instance, if I had x cubed right here, then I would need to have a space, and we're going to look at that. Let me just wait for the next example. So since this actually is in the order that we want, all we do now is take the coefficients. The coefficient for x squared is 1. The coefficient for x is negative 3. The coefficient here, the constant here is negative 18. And we bring down a line. Always bring down our first number, which is 1. Multiply 6 times 1, we get 6. We have negative 3 plus 6 is 3. And 6 times 3 is 18. And I get a remainder of 0. So this last number always plays the role of the remainder, where these terms here, these numbers here, play the role of your new coefficients. Whereas our old coefficients were 1, negative 3, and we had a constant of negative 18. Now 1 and positive 3 plays the role of our new coefficients. So to write out our answer, what we do is our answer will always start out with being 1 degree lower than the highest power of the polynomial. So since this is x to the second power, or x squared, our answer will actually start with 1x to the first power. And we use whatever coefficient here for this guy. And then will be plus 3. And that's it. That's the answer, x plus 3.